Hey everybody, what's up? This is Jay. So I just want to share a couple videos with y'all. Right now there's a video out by my man Mike Maloney right here, goldsilver.com. He's talking about the Great Reset. He's got excellent information in there about COVID-19, which is called the Batman Wolfu is what he calls it. It's really neat. So I thought I want to share that video with y'all. How do you like that cool deer there? A friend of mine gave that to me. And this flag here, a Vietnam veteran made that. Really cool. And on it, when I get better lighting in here, in my man cave, anyway, I had 1776 around it. That's when the United States was basically formed, getting away from Great Britain when the Declaration of Independence was written, so on and so forth. I have actually a Declaration of Independence to my left of me. I have a copy of it that I got in Washington, D.C. Really cool. One day I'll do a video on that. Really cool stuff. But anyway, thought it'd be a great background pick here for y'all to check out. So let me talk really fast about this video, The Great Reset, where the conspiracy theorists write. So he talks with his CEO, I believe, and another guy named Chris Matheson, I believe is his last name. And his CEO, I forget his name. I apologize about that if you're watching this, Mike. But they get into detail about what's going on in the economy, the COVID, the Batman Wolfu, as they call it. Really interesting stuff. And I suggest highly that you watch that. Before I go into my next window tab here, I just want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. I've got really good information about the economy, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ICOs, which is initial coin offerings, and what's coming out in cryptocurrency, news in cryptocurrency. So please do subscribe and like this video. I really appreciate that. And that also helps for when I do new videos. You'll see the new videos come out immediately. You'll see in the subscribe to all the subscribe that you're subscribed to. You'll see like a little, I think it's like a little blue or red dot or green dot that YouTube shows, so you can keep up to date on the latest. In the meantime, I just found something out today. Check this out. This is gonna blow your mind. China borrows for the first time at negative interest rates. What happened here? Let me reload this page. Crazy internet. China borrows at negative interest rates for the first time. That's crazy. What is going on with China? Please don't play that video. Thank you. So China's cashing in on the fears that the West, which means, the United States, faltering economic recovery will keep interest rates near record lows for a long time, which pretty much, in my opinion, they will. The Chinese government issued debt as a negative interest rate for the first time on Wednesday in a bond sale that attracted significant investor interest, according to Deutsche Bank, one of the banks that helped arrange the transaction. Why do these commercials keep going off? Anyway, faced with ever lower interest rates at home, European investors shaped up the bulk of the debt as they seek to gain exposure to the only major economy expected to grow this year. So with this COVID-19 thing going on, coronavirus, Batman Wolfu, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of fear right now in the markets. Interest rates are low, obviously, which is a good thing, because when interest rates are low, that means if you want a house or you need some credit cards or something like that, you want to borrow money, interest rates are low, so you can borrow money at low rates if you qualify. That's the key. You have to qualify. So being that the United States has not hit negative interest rates yet, there are talks I've heard from many economists and a lot of articles I've read in the past about possible negative interest rates, which will get, I don't even know how that's going to work. I got to read this article even more about this. So to me, negative interest rates would be like this. So positive interest rates would be you go to borrow money from a bank and you pay that. Like if it's at 1%, you borrow $100. If it's at 1%, you pay $1 a year. Negative interest rates, to me, in my opinion, I don't know, I have to do more research on this, but there are talks of negative interest rates possibly coming to the United States in many, many years from now. We'll see. I'm not the Fed, obviously, and obviously I don't have a crystal ball, but obviously and I get a lot of news from economists and investors, so on and so forth. And I also talk with a lot of people on what's going on as well, that are in the market investing. So anyway, with negative interest rates, what that means to me is if I go to borrow $100 with a negative interest rate at negative 1%, that means I'm going to make $1. To me, that absolutely makes no sense. But if what they're trying to do is spur an economy, you would want people to borrow a lot of money. Think about it that way. So if you want people to borrow a lot of money, just like keep interest rates at low rates, to borrow money, you borrow $100,000, and if the interest rate's at 1%, well, that $100,000 is $1,000. And that means that the person would get paid $1,000. Don't quote me on that. I'm still doing some research on it. But if you find anything about negative interest rates, please let me know as well. I'm still getting educated on this stuff as well, because this is not heard of in the United States yet. So go ahead and read this article. It's on CNN Business here. China borrows at negative interest rates for the first time. I'm going to put this article in my video below so y'all can get more educated about what's going on here. Also, I just wanted to go over something, the Dow futures, what's going on with the Dow futures, so on and so forth. Let's see here. The Dow futures in my next slide. So the Dow futures looks like the Dow futures are, S&P's down a little bit, 0.47%, almost 0.5%. Dow is more than 0.5% down. Nasdaq's 0.06%. So just looking at now that China is doing that, going back to the Chinese borrowing China is borrowing at negative interest rates. What is the Chinese market doing right now? And that's why I look at things like this, because it helps me to understand where the markets are. So we scroll down here, world markets. Japan is at negative 0.42%. Hang Seng, which is in Hong Kong, which is basically part of China's, if they already did the conversion, is 0.19%. England, I don't think it's open yet. Okay, so gold is up a little bit, 0.20%. Corn, who trades corn? That's awesome. Anyway, natural gas is up 1.12%. Light crude oil is up 0.19%. So here's the current interest rates, or yields, previous yields for today. For like 30-year Treasury, 1.58. Now imagine that's talking about U.S. Treasury. Now imagine if that's negative 1.58%. So how's that going to work too when you think about it? Because if you go to buy, like let's say you go to buy a bond, right? And you want to get paid 2% a year, so you put in $100 and then you get $2 in return. With a negative interest rate, how's that going to work from a standpoint of trying to saving money, or saving currency, because it's really not money. Money is gold. Real money is gold and silver, what I've learned. And saving currency, you go to save $100 and negative 2%. Does that mean they're going to strip you of $2 more, so you got to pay $2? That's almost like borrowing money. If you were to borrow $100, it's almost better to borrow $100 so that way they pay you, instead of trying to save $100 so that way they take it from you. I hope you understood what I said. I'm going to say it one more time. So it's almost like it's saying that if you go to put your money and save $100, and it's a negative 2%, that means they're going to take $2 from you instead of giving you, because you're trying to save money, right? And usually when you save money, if it's at 2%, that means they're giving you money. Negative 2, that means you're taking money. So it's almost better to borrow, because if it's at negative 2, that means they're going to give you 2%. But if you're, you see where I'm going here? But if it was at 2, if the interest rate is at 2%, if you're borrowing, it means you got to pay 2%. So a lot of stuff is not making sense right now in the financial markets, but we will see how all of this comes out to play. I'll move the video over here. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin? How's it going? What's going on with Bitcoin? Lots of stuff's going on with Bitcoin. It's been on a high, literally going high. 18,186 and 59 cents in American currency. So it's up $333.50, basically 1.86%. So if you look at the 1 year chart, look at this thing. I'm going to go over, by the way, I also have my report still coming out. I'm working on it, and you're really going to like it. I'm going to include Bitcoin, Ethereum, ICOs, initial coin offerings, other cryptocurrency information. So please subscribe. That's another reason to please subscribe as well, because that report's coming out very soon. And I'm doing videos on that right now, just trying to help people understand that this report's going to be coming out. So please subscribe. Appreciate that. So Ethereum, 1 year chart. 1 year ago, on 11/20/2019, right about when this COVID-19 thing started, give or take that or before then, 7,000. So if somebody had invested then, it would have dropped down. Wouldn't that have been nice to get in at $4,970? That would have been sweet. And now it's up 18,188, give or take, in 1 year. Now I just want to look at a quick 5 year, because Bitcoin has been here before, if y'all are not aware of it. Let's take a quick look at the 5 year chart. 5 year chart, Bitcoin here. You see that line right going there across? If I can, right going here across. So let's see the top of the, right there, 19,140. So Bitcoin has already been at 18,188 a couple years ago. Passed it, went to 19,140. In some cases, I've heard that Bitcoin went to 20,000 a couple years ago. That's awesome. Will it pass $20,000 is the big question a lot of people are asking. Who knows? We will see. But think about this. If the financial markets worldwide are starting to crash because COVID is starting to increase worldwide, and the markets start going down, I'm talking about the stock markets and whatever markets, okay? Where are people going to put their money? Think about that for a second. Will it be cryptocurrency? I don't know. Will it be gold and silver? I don't know. Historically now, okay? When markets crash, and this is not financial advice, I'm not telling you do these things. This is only to educate you, okay? You do your own choices in life. Make your own choices where you're going to invest. If you make money, awesome. If you don't make money, you suffer the consequences. Learn the lesson. It's all about learning. Life is one big learning path. So I'm not telling you go invest in Bitcoin, go invest in Ethereum. This is just another resource for your financial education. So that's off the table. Anyway, so will Bitcoin get past $20,000 soon? I don't know. There's a lot of talk. Everyone is very speculative. When markets go up, when cryptocurrency goes up, everyone's like, yeah, cryptocurrency is going up, market's going up, it's going to pass this. People start making predictions like they have a crystal ball. Please, come on, man. No one has a crystal ball. Technical charts sometimes tell the truth, sometimes they don't. It could maybe go up to Bitcoin, up to 20,000 and then drop like crazy. Who knows? Or it could go to 20,000 and 40,000. Who knows? No one knows. But there are some wild predictions out there. But when you think about it from a logical sense, okay, if stock markets start crashing, and who knows, gold and silver start crashing, let's say, where do people put their money? Where will people put their money? Will it be in cryptocurrency? Maybe. Will it be in gold and silver? Maybe. Who knows? Because, if you look at past charts and you look in history, a lot of investors will say that when markets crash, this is before Bitcoin and all this cryptocurrency stuff. When markets start to crash, people put their money in bonds and stuff like that. They also put their money in gold and silver. I mean, historically. And that's not, again, that's not investment advice. It's just what the word on the street is, per se. Okay? So now that we have this cryptocurrency and people are getting more access to it because they can phone right there. You know, back in the 80s and the 90s, you didn't have an iPhone where you're like, well, yeah, I mean, even early in the early 2000s, you don't have iPhone. When did iPhone come out? What, 10 years ago? 11 years ago? So it's fairly new technology, right? I mean, we got semi-smartphones, right? But now everything is on your phone. You do things fast, and you're able to trade, and you're able to get in and out of a trade like there's no tomorrow. But here's a question. Is that secure? Is that secure? Everyone wants convenience without thinking about security. So you have to ask yourself that when you make a trade, if you decide to make trades. Am what I'm doing, is it secure from a cybersecurity standpoint? Everyone forgets about that. That's why there's major hacks all over the place. I mean, read on ISACA, ISACA I think it's .com or .org. So much news about hacks, whatever. So always think about that before you make a trade, too, if you're ever going to make a trade. And I'm not telling you to trade. I'm just saying if you're going to make a trade. Okay? Think about security. So will it pass 20,000? Who knows? We will have to see what happens. Okay, Ethereum. Let's go over a quick chart of Ethereum. All right, Ethereum. Look at this thing. And 1 year ago, wow, $150, right? $150. Or, excuse me, 161. And then it dropped down to 110. Now, wouldn't that be nice if we did that? If somebody got in at 110 and then they rolled it up and they just stuck to their guns and it was now 471. That'd be nice. That's like a 4 times your profit. 4 times your profit. Cool. Awesome. 400% your profit. Awesome. Let's look really fast again at Ethereum 5-year chart. All right? Check it out. Boom. 5-year chart. Wow, look at that. Flat down here. 2017 started to rise. What's the high on Ethereum again? 1,366.77 cents. My goodness, wouldn't that have really been nice? Whoever had the Ethereum coins at $10, $11, $12. That's like some serious cash right there. Anyway, so will Ethereum go back up to $1,000 or 1,366? And it's got some technical things. I mean, it busted past the technicals here. So look at this. So if we align it and we go across, okay, 492. Where's that at? 492, give or take. Right around here. No, not there. Right, it's got to bust past 500. Once it busts past 500, will it continue to climb up to here, 733, or will it drop at 500 back down? I mean, there's all types of technical indicators and lines you can measure and all these wonderful things. And looking at MACDs and looking at RSI, those are indicators. Beautiful, right? But do they always tell the truth? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It all depends. But no matter what, if you ever decide to trade, and this is not financial advice, but this is how I learned, and I learned the freaking hard way, okay, from my own trades. Always, 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 before you invest in anything, have an exit plan. Like, for example, let's say I decided for myself, which I'm not in Ethereum right now, okay? Let's say I decided I'm going to throw almost $500, which I'm not going to do, okay, at Ethereum. What's my exit strategy? Before I even think that, okay, what's my exit strategy? Before I go and throw my money at something, okay? Let's say I throw my money at here almost $500, and I say, well, you know what? My exit strategy up is this, down is this. So you always have to have an exit strategy up or down. I mean, me having an exit strategy, but this is what I learned, not investment advice. Okay. So let's say I threw it in at 500. Then I said to myself, you know what? If this thing goes to 700, I'm going to cash out because I don't know where this thing's going to go further or not, because I at least want to take some profit, or even 600. That's part of an exit strategy. Okay. And then let's say I'm not willing to lose more than, I don't know, 10%, or, maybe 20%, which would be $100, and 10% is $50 if I decided to get in. So if I got in at $500 or $496, and this thing all of a sudden dropped down to $450, well, you know what? If that's my exit strategy, then I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of my trade. I lost 50, and I'm just going to be on the sidelines until my next game plan. Or if it goes down to 400, which is basically a 20%, right? Because 10% is $50, and another $50 would be 20%. That's $400. Let's say it drops down to 400. I go, that's my exit. I'm done. I'm out until I decide what I'm going to do next. Or I could have the hold strategy too and decide, you know what, I'm going to just hold it and hope it comes back up. That's why I don't like the word hope too much, unless I'm hoping in God, because God is a sure thing. All right? So I don't play the game of this stuff, man. Anyway, this video is getting really long. I really appreciate your patience. Thanks so much. I'm coming out with my cryptocurrency report very soon. Okay, so please subscribe. Please, I really appreciate it. Comment on this video. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me what's going on. What are your thoughts? Especially this so important article here. China borrows at negative interest rates for the first time. I really want to know your thoughts about that. And then we can collaborate. I will respond. Okay? I'll do my best to respond to every comment. I'm very busy, as everyone else is in the world nowadays with all this stuff going on. But I will do my best to respond. So thank you so much. And please do subscribe. Appreciate it. Thumbs up. Have a good one. God bless you. Take care of yourself. All right, this is Jay, and I'm out.